Greetings, I am Tekkrr.
Welcome, Tekkrr.
It is good to see you all, and welcome to my first class, the spirals. I'm going to stand up. That might not be a good idea, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Be careful.
Yes, I'm now in control, since there's nothing in front of me. First of all, I want to give you a little history about spirals. They're ancient symbols, going back before galactic history. They are started in a time when this galaxy, they may have started in another galaxy, actually, and come to this galaxy with others. But they have always been a symbol of movement and energy. They've always been a symbol of vortex. They've always been a symbol of galactic energy. Because if you notice, solar systems rotate around a sun. Or solar systems rotate around the center of the galaxy. Suns are the center of your solar system. There's something always revolving around, creating the energy, keeping things intact. It appears that we have learned that the rotation movement around these massive suns and massive centers causes a gravitational pull, causes a vortex to appear. So actually your solar system and the galaxy and the spiral galaxy and many other galaxies are actually large vortexes of sorts, because they create energy as they move. They create that push and pull that keeps everything where it is. So once they learned that this kind of movement is powerful, they started to incorporate it into their modalities. So you will see the very first symbol is a choku-ray. It is not the same kind of choku-ray they use on Earth. They use the choku-ray on Earth 3 times. You will do choku-ray 3 times usually.
Yep.
But this is one continuous spiral. And it is seen on there as 12 motions. But you can go longer than 12 motions. Let me tell you how it's used. And let me tell you why we've chosen this symbol for it to be taught to humans. First of all, it is used for deeper healing. It is used because just a few motions does not create enough energy to get deep inside if there happens to be a very dense individual. Now you may say, Reiki goes where it needs to go. Correct, it does. But sometimes it's helpful if it goes deeper than just 2 inches above the surface or 3 inches. This guarantees that the energy will get much deeper because the vortex will continue to work and move in. Now, with this, you don't want to use this symbol for something very light, like bruises and bumps, or slight pains, or things of that nature. This is for deep healing. This is for internal muscles and bones. So you would use this for something a little more serious. Something that has to have more energy. Because with regular Reiki, you could use the Cho-ku-ray and it could do a great deal of work, and it could be very valid just using the Choku-ray. And some of you don't know what I'm talking about, do you? But because you did not learn that in these classes. But I do want to let you know the Choku-ray is part of a Reiki course. Is it in the second part?
Yes.
The second part.
No, it's Reiki 1, and it is a part that's given to you into your hand to open your hands.
This is, but they don't learn what the symbol is?
No, it'll just open the hands.
Ah, can I explain that to them, or is that part of the mystery?
They are kind of advanced enough to understand, I think.
All right, then I will go ahead and tell you that when you get your Reiki 1 attunement, when they open your hands in the front, they put the Cho-ku-ray symbol into your body. This means put the energy here, put the energy within this body.
Yes.
And so this is part of the attunement. You do not know that you're getting the Cho-ku-ray symbol in Reiki 1, but it is there because you need the energy for Reiki 1 to attune to all the things that you learned. So they are putting the energy in the hand so that you may learn and feel that energy of Reiki 1, and that it inspires or wakes up the rest of the body or the hands or whatever part of the body you're using to heal in an energetic way. And then when you start to do your Reiki and you do your pre-Reiki attunements or adjustments and getting ready for Reiki, you will feel that energy wake up. You will feel it come alive because Cho-ku-ray is in your body, we put it in your hands. Okay, now let me explain more about the long, deep healing Cho-ku-ray. It can be used, you can go around 12 times, 24 times. There are some people that do it for a minute. Just keep going around because they feel that energy going deeper and deeper and deeper. And when you use this, I want you to be aware of what you're doing, because I would want you to say, as the spiral is going, down to the bone, down to the muscle, down to the tissue, down to the nerves, down to the blood cells, any part, down to the joints, any part that is necessary for the healing in this deep healing Cho-ku-ray. I want to complete healing, complete pain relief, complete healing, complete pain relief. I want you to be saying that because I want you to be totally immersed in that symbol for that moment. And when you're saying that, you do the hat. You see the hat on the cross, across the top. And it comes down, and then you start your spiral. And it goes around and around, down to the bone, down to the tissue, down to the muscle, down to the nerve, down to the joints, down to the blood cells. And you then say, complete healing and pain relief, complete healing and pain relief, complete healing and pain relief.
Can I just say something on that symbol as well? When you look at it, it goes from the top, above your head, right down to your feet. And if you visualize it in front of you, and as you walk through it slowly, it will rotate round and round, go all through your tissues, through your body. And visualize it energizing you, working, healing you.
Excellent.
Okay.
I like that. But I have to say this. There are many that when I have brought it up to some in other places in the world, they say, oh, we already know about this symbol. We already use it. It already feels natural to keep going. And some people do, and have learned just by the intuitive nature of the symbol that it keeps going to continue working and continue moving in. And if that is their intent, it will work with that. Have you ever used it that way?
I use it in a lot of varieties of ways.
Excellent.
It's very, very versatile.
Yes, excellent word. Spirals are very versatile because you can use them in many, many situations. Because what is the spiral? It is the bringing of energy. Remember, we said the meaning of Cho-ku-ray was put the energy here. or can you put the energy everywhere? And if that is your intent, you can put the energy everywhere. And if you use, what could you use a very big spiral for other than to deep heal? Any comments?
So besides that,
Yes.
actually, you can probably use it in order to transfer moods.
Yes, you could. There are spirals involved in time travel. There are spirals involved in transportation from one place to another because they create their own vibration. They create a vibration of whatever you're intending. Now, in technology, they put an intention into the technology, how they want it to work, and which way they want it to go, and how they want it to react with whatever the spiral is aiming at. So therefore, with your intent, you can intend it to do other things. You can intend it to make a vortex if you wish. If you wanted to make a vortex with the deep healing spiral, you could. It wouldn't be a very big vortex because you're one person and you only have such a big hand spread. But it would be big enough if you wanted to make a positive vortex for yourself. It can also be used to transport things. There are some, but of course, technology is attached to these kinds of spirals. Technology is part of the vibrational use in these things. But you have to understand, this does create a vortex of your intent. So, just like with any kind of Reiki, your intention is very important. Healing and your focus on what you're doing is very important. If you are doing a Reiki session and you are daydreaming and not thinking about what you are doing, do you think that the, whatever you call the patient, client, will get a good healing? They can get energy still, because that is your intent for touching them, is to transfer that energy that is coming in to them. But when you focus your energy, which is the primary energy that is mixing with their energy, you get a much better and more efficient healing. So please pay attention to what you're doing and be serious about Reiki, because it's not something that is you should be daydreaming during. It is a job. If you are a practitioner, they are going to be paying you to do this. Do you want to be giving them a partial healing? No, you want to give them the best that you can. So please pay attention. Is there any questions about this first spiral?
Is that spiral for only physical healing also, or it is also for spiritual?
It can be intended for spiritual healing, because you're putting energy there. You're putting energy where you say you're putting energy. If you say put energy into the spirit, that would work. If you want to put energy into the emotions, say someone has lost track, or is very emotionless, or is finding it hard to feel, you can put energy into their feelings, emotions, and they can work there. Or into the body for actual healing. But healing all those things is still healing. We don't have to put a label other than healing on all of these things. Yes?
Is there any way you could actually just do it physically in the air, so I
Yes.
can get an idea of where you start and...
You start up here.
Okay,
I'm turning around so that you can see the actual starting point. Because if you're drawing it, you will be facing this the direction I'm facing. So it comes across, okay? Comes down, and then it loops over and over again until you get to the center. But if you're doing more than 12, it shows 12 on the page.
Yeah.
But if you're doing more than 12, you can stay out from the circle a little ways until you know that you are going to finish up, and then close the circle. Make sure, and I would like to add this, make sure you do close that circle. And the reason for that is that extraneous energy can keep going and pull. If you disconnect and that is not finalized, it can continue to pull your energy. And that is your personal energy, not energy from the universe or energy from the client or patient, but your own personal energy can continue to flow as you continue to move away. And that will drain you. And I believe a lot of times people do not do things properly and it does drain them. And they'll say, I'm so tired from doing Reiki. They shouldn't be. They should be actually feel just fine. Because your energy is not in question. It should be the energy coming through and actually replenishing everything that's going out of you, so that after a Reiki you should feel the same. Or if not, you should feel a little bit better because you were getting a healing. You might be a little tired because what does Reiki do first? It relaxes you. So it might relax you a little bit. So you might feel a little, but you won't feel drained or worn out. You'll feel actually a little bit more motivated, I would think. At least that's the way it is with me. So, yes. Yes.
I have a question, but I understand she has a question as well.
You may both ask.
In the picture here, when you're saying to close the circle, are you meaning to make sure that one of the spirals ends on the Cho-ku-ray post?
Correct.
Okay.
That is it.
Okay.
To end right on the post is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question, because I did not make that clear.
That was my question.
Is that right? All right.
Can I just mention sorry. When you actually draw it, try to draw it with the middle finger. The middle finger is thought to be more sacred. You'll be using that with Reiki, so it's maybe a good idea to start using it right away. Then you don't have to have any adjusting to do.
That is sort of
Okay.
a human thing, so I would have not have even thought of that. But
Yeah.
yes, if that is the case,
You may as well use that.
use it this way. In other species, this finger is used. In other species, 2 fingers are used. On Earth, the middle finger is the most appropriate. And the reason for that is centering. It's the center of the hand.
It's true too.
And thank you for reminding me, because that is something that, as a Lyran, I would not remember. And it is it's a balancing finger. It's the balance finger for the hand.
She has a question.
Is there other questions?
Right here.
Yes.
Well, when you're talking about going deeper into bone and muscle, can you also use the additional spirals if you're going microscopic, like for a genetic disorder or cancer or a viral infection or something like that?
Absolutely. If your intention is there, then say those things. Say to the virus, to the bacteria, to whatever it is that's causing this illness, to the blood. Remember I said the blood cells?
Yeah.
This is for leukemia and blood diseases. I did mention blood cells, but you can go even deeper to viruses, bacterias. There are some very virulent diseases out there that you may want to use deep healing Cho-ku-ray with, and intended to reach to those things. Now, some people, when they picture that, it's best to try to picture as best as you can what you're doing. Do you understand that? So if you're going down to the bone, picture a bone or a muscle, you may picture that easily, I would think. And if you picture a bacteria, I know that bacteria can be actually multifaceted looking kind of images, and viruses as well. So say the word into the body, but also picture it as a very small but numerous item. Do not just picture one, but picture a lot of little dots, because you want to get as many of them out as possible. Does that make sense? Now, you can, with your intention, that can be almost good enough without doing picturing. But picturing helps to concentrate and focus on the actual problem.
And then visualizing.
Visualizing, yes. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
For spiritual healing, would you do this over the person's hearts? Would you do this on
I think that if it was spiritual, and when I use it for spiritual healing, I do it over the whole body. Because the spirit is not just in the heart, but it is in the entire body, and I would want to include that entire body in the spirit. And I would make it as big as the person. I would just use that hand motion right over the body entirely. You're welcome.
Go ahead.
Sorry, a question about bacteria. When you want to get rid of bacteria, do you set an intention of please remove the bacteria or just heal the body?
It depends on where if the bacteria is in the blood, you can do both. Down to the blood, down to the bacteria. You don't have to separate them. You can include them both into your intention. You can include them both in what you are saying so that it is a more complete removal. The more complete of a visualization you have, the better chance for its removal. And the better understanding of what you're trying to remove, the better your chance of removal. I get the feeling that you have removed some very strong diseases in your time.
I'd like to think so, but I would hate to take credit if I'm not sure.
I love that, very
I
humble.
pass it on, it wasn't me that was doing it.
But it is, did you hear what she said? She would like to think so, but she's not going to take credit for it. It was true. I believe that you have really helped with some major removal of infection and disease.
I had a lady and
It was very interesting because she was totally not into anything. And I had to talk to her to let go of the pain of her son having died 18 years earlier. That had to be cut. Then she had cancer. She had wanted to know how her son felt when he had cancer. When they cut it out, it was between 20 or 28, I can't quite remember, of flesh that she took out. She survived it, the operation, the chemo first to stop it from spreading. I gave her Reiki twice a week and talked to her and gave her this cancer pack to read. And she is extremely well. I'm seeing her next week.
Excellent. Now, with that story, I want you to realize this. You believed that Reiki could help her. She believed that Reiki could help her. Belief systems do play a part of this.
I go
To that as a healer, because I would not have wanted to take money from her thinking that it probably does not work.
Let me give you a tip on how to help your clients, patients, whatever you call them here, a better chance for healing. Let them become involved in it. Tell them your energy is important as well as mine and the universe's. My energy will be mixing with your energy to help you heal. Also, the universe will be involved in getting energy from every place that is willing to give us good, positive energy. But if you let them know that their energy is important to their healing, will they not concentrate more on their healing? I know that some people just let them go, and they do all the intentions and all the everything, but if you say before you start, just send the energy to the places where you want it to go also, because your energy is mixing with my energy, is mixing with the universe's energy, and we're all helping you heal. Would they not have a greater healing, having sent the energy to the right places in their body, and being more aware of what the energy is doing? Now, some may say, oh, I don't want to do that to my client. I don't want them to say, oh, well, I have to be involved in this. It's you're doing the work, not me. But that is not the point. The point is this. They are aware of where the energy is going. They can still relax, but they can be aware that the energy that they have within them can help them, because it's getting help from other energies outside the body. And is there a question about that? There you go. Yes?
At one point, it's not a point, but it's just an added to that. I brought my energy, I received Reiki for a while, but then I brought my energy, I said I'm going to bring my energy into this, and it ramped up my Reiki treatments, because, and it intensified my Reiki, and it made my Reiki treatment that much more beneficial to me.
So how did you do that?
Because I said to myself, I'm going to bring my energy. I'm going to be a part of this. My energy. So I just said that to myself, and I did that, and so I brought myself into it.
Those that, thank you, and those that are really interested in a thorough healing will be appreciative that you have mentioned that to them, so that they can say, oh, you know, I do want a better healing. I do want to feel better. I do want a greater satisfaction. They will be thankful if they are truly wanting a healing.
I think what we sometimes forget is that you are in charge of your body. You're the driver of your body and the decision making. And if you just go, oh, I'll go to the doctor, and you just lie there and don't participate, expect him to do all the work, your body will be asleep and maybe not realizing you are not directing your body what you want it to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You are in charge of everything that happens to your body.
Very good. Is everyone learning something new?
Yes.
Excellent. I would like to, if there's no more questions, I believe I've covered the deep healing Cho-ku-ray. Unless there's more questions, I would definitely answer those.
I'd love you if you can repeat again, because one part, because I understand we are not removing the viruses and bacteria. So what are we doing with them?
You're sending energy to them so that they may go away. You're sending positive energy to a negative being. It's sort of like a negative entity within the body. You see the bacteria or the virus as a non-healthy thing. And what you're doing is intending that that body become healthy again. So it will go to that area, to those viruses, those bacterias, and move them aside, move them out of the body. It's amazing. They can come out through the skin, they can come out through the urine, they can come out through feces and things of that nature. And you may not even be aware that they are being pushed in those areas to go those places. But they do not have a place in the healthy body. So you push them to a place where they can exit. You push them to a place where they can exit. And that is your intention. You're not killing them. You're pushing them out of the body. You're pushing the negativity out of the body. And that's what Reiki is all about. It's not about killing anything. It is about pushing the negativity out. It is about removing it from the positive body. Pain is a negativity. It pushes it out. And you can fan it away after it's done.
Yeah.
And then you fan it, send it into the light, because the energy will be reused. It will be turned into good energy, so don't see it necessarily as bad.
Very good. Any other questions?
Yes.
That was an excellent question, by the way, and that is the kind of questions that I like because that clarifies, even to a greater extent, what is happening when you do Reiki. When you're doing it, it is an action of positivity against negativity, which is disease and pain and bacteria and all these things. But you're not killing anything. You're removing it. You're pushing it into a place where it can go and be removed. That's why you drink the water. You didn't kill anything, you're removing it. It's flowing out of you, but it's not part of you anymore.
So,
There's a question back here, Tekkrr.
What?
There's a question back here.
Yes.
So can I use the spiral, the Cho-ku-ray on myself, of course, I think?
Of course.
So I just painted over myself on the place where it has to heal. You just paint it in the air, like, or over the client, right? Okay.
Yes. Excuse me. Jim's throat is hoarse. It might be my voice. Yes. You can use, that is another great point. You can use all these symbols on yourself. Now, a lot of people say, I try to heal myself and it doesn't work. I can heal everybody in the world, but I can't heal myself. Have you heard that one?
I'm afraid so. I've said it myself.
Yes. Why doesn't it work? Why do you think it doesn't work on yourself when you're trying to do it?
Belief system.
What?
Belief system.
That's number one. There is another reason why it may not seem to work as well.
Because you keep saying it.
And, well, that's part of the belief system. When you keep saying that it's not working, that's belief system. The second thing is, you don't have another person's energy mixing with your energy. But you do have energy from outside coming in. So a lot of people forget that. But they're saying, I don't have anybody else's energy helping me, so it's not going to work. The circuit's not going to work, but it will. The energies outside your body, in the universe, and in the places where they're in the realms where there are people around you, why don't you do this? Call on God before you do self-healing. Call on your spirit guides. Call on those that you know will help with a healing. And then you may feel a greater amount of satisfaction with your self-healing. Yes?
Can you mention other points concerning the Cho-ku-ray?
Other points?
It's like for deep healing, and what else? Like, when do we need this specific spiral?
When you need a deep healing symbol like this, is if there is something major wrong, something other than just a natural backache or whatever. something better other than just a neck ache or, you know, a headache, a very light headache or whatever. This is for maybe migraines, which go much deeper, which is a greater and deeper pain. This goes for maybe, I'm not sure what they call it in the spine where the nerve is pinched. There you go. That is the word I was looking for. Sciatica. Very good. And for bone damage, if someone has broken bones or torn muscles or things of this nature that you really need to get in there and start a real deep healing.
Cancer and all this.
Cancer, that's a great disease for this. It's not a great disease, it's a terrible disease. But it's a good reason to use this. But you understand what I'm saying. It's not for the average Reiki person, not always. You have your Reiki customers that come in and they have their weekly appointment and they go, oh, after they're done, oh, I feel so much better. But there was nothing really major wrong. They're just energy systems needed rebalancing a little bit. They were under the weather maybe a little bit, but a regular Reiki session was enough to bring them back into full contact with third dimension in a way that they can appreciate. Does that make sense? Yes?
I have a question. What if a person has an illness and someone says, no, it's a karma thing? Will that cleric still heal that illness?
Well, that's a good question because you have to know that it's a karma thing. How are you going to know that it is a karma thing? If someone comes to you and they say, I'm deeply depressed or I'm deeply in need of healing in my spirit, you first have to have them clear their karma. And let me tell you why. They have to be aware of the reason behind their sickness in this case. Karma is not something that you can just zap away with Reiki. Karma is something that's built up over time and with activities and things, and it's connected to guilt and negativity of different kinds. And if you can sense that, there are some of you that will be able to, that are intuitive enough to be able to sense, oh, this is a karmic thing. You must let them know that. They may not appreciate it. You may have to say, this is something that you need to work on. Maybe you don't want to say it's a karmic thing, but you may want to say, there's something here that I can't heal because you need to deal with something first.
So you can't have somebody say, oh, your karma issue is blah, blah, blah. It's something you have to deal with.
It depends on how well you know your client. If this is someone that comes to you and you do not know, I would be very careful what I say to them. If this is someone you know intimately, sure, you may speak frankly. But to come to a perfect stranger and say to them, I can't work on you, your karma's not good, is not going to win you any points or have them get healed at all. Because they're going to get upset, they're going to blame you, they're going to say, it's not me, it's you. You just are no good. Whatever they want to say. But if you are polite about it and say, there is something there that you need to work on first. I can heal this pain and that pain and the other, but this depression, there's something attached to that that I can't heal.
What if the person can never find out what that is?
If they ask, you may tell them a little more. If they ask, but you know how often they ask? you'll be surprised how often they don't ask. And the reason is they already know. They already know. They know what they've done to, and they know why and when this started, and they have a sense of why they feel that way. Don't you agree?
Yes and no. I have got a different
It was regard to Reiki.
One thing I would like to mention is maybe
That we can only treat people if they actually agree to it. Because sometimes we want to treat a person, or we do, but we haven't got the permission. Just casually to mention that. But the next thing is that when I give them a treatment, I'm asking for healing for whatever is right for the person. I'm asking for higher guidance for that, for the higher spirit. Because even though the person has given me permission and they maybe said, help me with my foot ache, maybe what's wrong is something in their head that's telling them they have a foot ache. So I like to connect with the direct, please give me a treatment, help from above. And if it is in interest of the person to live or to be healed, please let's have it happen.
I have a slightly different opinion about that, but that's just a difference of opinion, and I'll tell you why. My opinion is this, is that you don't ask permission to pray for someone. But if somebody gets on the table, do you have to ask them permission to touch them? Yes. But not to give them Reiki, because they're already saying yes to that. But if you're going to send Reiki long distance, you don't ask permission, do you?
I send it to higher spirit.
Correct.
I just really do that in almost every case. In case someone asks for Reiki and he doesn't quite fully understand the whole story around it.
Can I tell you what happens? When you send Reiki to someone and you haven't spoken to them ever before, they could be right over there and you don't even know them, but you can send Reiki to them. You know why? Because their subconscious will accept it or turn it down. If they do not want it, they will not take it. If their system does not want it, if they deny that healing exists and that you are sending it to them, they will turn it down. If they want healing, if the body actually wants healing, the subconscious will accept it. Automatically will say, yes, I want healing. But you see, some people get caught up with this because it is true, permission is nice. But there are many cases where permission isn't even available. What if someone is unconscious?
Well, you're supposed to talk to the person higher self. And do that.
What if the higher self is not available right at that moment? Should you not give your healing gift to someone because you didn't give permission? Don't you think the subconscious will know if it's good or bad?
It will.
So I would say, heal. Be the healer that you are. And at those particular times, do not worry about permission because the subconscious will either deny it or accept it. Are they going to thank you later that you healed them? No, I wanted to die. It's your fault. If that is the case, the body would not accept the healing. They only will accept the healing if they want to live and if they want the energy. The subconscious knows. And it is not impolite to save a life if they're unconscious. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. Some may disagree.
See, the problem I have there is that so many people do not know energy healing yet.
Correct.
My mother was very sick, dying, and I asked her, would you like me to give some Reiki? Not now, I'm not feeling good. And a friend of mine, she has severe cancer, and she says, maybe another time, I'm just not feeling good. But I like it when you put your arm around me. And then it's like, okay, I'll just put my arm around me. I asked for the higher spirit to allow me to give a healing, and I never asked anymore.
When you put your arm around her, that is an energy exchange with
That
your
was my
healing
intent.
energy.
Yeah.
And she said yes to it, and the subconscious agreed.
If you want to see it like that, yes. But
So
I
if you
asked
if you point blank ask for Reiki and their belief system doesn't go with it, then they just will reject it if you give it to them.
Yeah.
So asking permission sometimes is not necessary, in my opinion.
we kind of sneak it in.
I can send it to them, and if they reject it, they never need to know that I did it.
That's true.
And they never need to know that they rejected it.
I have a question. I was sending you a few times to your ship healing energy.
Of course.
Okay, thank you. I love you.
I love you as well. But true, we receive healing energy all the time. There are many people that send the Galactic people in the ships, not just our ship, but every ship around. They send healing energy. There are some that send negative energy to the ships as well.
I believe that.
But there are those that will send much love and positive energy to the ships, and it is appreciated. And believe me, we know when that happens. It's just part of the sensitivity with the machinery and things of that nature that's different than what you have. Yes.
I just want to go back to doing it on yourself. So if you're doing it on yourself, so if you're doing it on them, it's this way. So if you're doing it, is it opposite? So if you want to do it on yourself, is it backwards?
Yes. If you're doing it on yourself, you would have to look at it the way that you would be standing in front of yourself. So that would be backwards, yes.
What is if you will do in the middle?
In the middle?
In the middle.
Mirror.
Oh, mirror.
In the mirror?
Then
I had never had that question asked before. I've never done it in the mirror, have you?
No, I was just draw it in front of me and walk through it.
Yeah, I would just draw it. That sounds perfect to me.
that's what it
In front of
is.
me.
It's the easiest.
Yeah, draw it in front of you and walk through it.
That's the way.
Absolutely.
Or
Get used to how it goes.
Lie on the bed and visualize how it sinks into you.
Excellent.
Draw it
Very good.
side.
Yeah, on the bed and then go from there. Yeah.
I have to ask what time it is so that if I could have to move forward.
17 more minutes. 17 more minutes.
17 more minutes. Oh my
Let's go to the
goodness.
next.
We'll never get through the Tinch chain in 17 minutes. But we might as well continue answering
Yeah.
questions. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
The symbol itself, we have a saying the map is not the territory. Is the symbol more a tool for our intention, or is it like a circuit where it actually completes a connection?
What it does is works with intention as well as adds energy to the area, because you're intentioning it to do that, and also you're building a vortex in that area that's stronger than a regular just a choku-ray vortex.
Like sometimes I just like repeat the name of the symbol if I'm wanting to amp up the energy instead of drawing it with greater detail.
And does that work for you?
It seems to.
So then it works. It would work even better with the symbol. It would work even better with the actual symbol. But saying the words has its own intention and its own energy, because it is part of what is in you. Your attunement is a choku-ray.
And I may mention when you actually chant it again and again, quietly or loud enough, it depends who's around, it can kind of energize it even further and continue it.
Yes.
So I also was going to say to this lady, it's good to, yes, you treat yourself, but it is nice if somebody else does it for you and then you treat them. It's because we are supposed to be there for each other. So seek out healers, a circle, and practice on each other. Because sometimes when you're not feeling well, you might feel so not well that you don't feel like healing yourself. That's
Exactly.
Yes.
So we do not have much time left.
Just one more question.
Yes.
Yeah, about the Tekkrr. When you're doing it on the self, you're holding your hand towards this way to your body, but you're following the same way how it's here on the paper?
Of course.
So it's going to be from the left?
Just not clockwise, that's it.
It would be from the right, and you come down, and then you're saying that it will go counterclockwise? No, it will go clockwise if you're doing it to it'll go clockwise if you're doing it to yourself because it's going into you.
Just imagine as if a person is doing it for you. So
Yes.
right?
So, yes, I'm sorry. I'm not used to holding a microphone, so I sometimes don't use it. Forgive me.
You're very good in it.
Yeah. Yes, we will get to the Tinch.
All right, is there any more questions? I'm going to not do the Cho-ku-ray at this time. The Tinch at this time because it will take much more than, it will take probably a good 45 minutes to get through the Tinch with all the questions that there will be. Because the Tinch, although it looks simple, it has 4 uses and can be drawn 4 different ways. So therefore, we need to focus on that. So I want you to be able to use it properly. And it has some very interesting uses. I will start by telling you this. It can be used for grounding, for moving up to the next dimension. It can be used for clearing a room or balancing a room. There's balancing and clearing are 2 different things. But I will tell you that it is a wonderful, wonderful spiral symbol because it puts the energy into those intentions that I just mentioned, the grounding. Now, I will mention that when we learn the Tinch, you may have to do the Tinch 4 or 5 times to get where you need to go. Some people can have the power and the energy and intention so strongly they can do it once and it's done. But just like with the earthly Cho-ku-ray, they do it 3 times usually, and sometimes there are other people that do it many times as they think they need it. And that is with the Tinch as well. All right, I'm going to turn the floor back over to Jim. I am going to, I guess I'll continue to stand because sitting down may be disastrous. No, that is fine. I will bring back Jim and then he will sit down.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful time.
Thank you.
And we will speak again tomorrow.
Namaste.
Goodbye. Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Come back here.
What you did, the chair cleared itself.
Oh, what?
The chair cleared itself.
Lovely. Thank you.